Breaking news! The Philadelphia Eagles made a surprising move in the second round of the 2025 NFL Draft. With the 64th overall pick, Howie Roseman selected Texas safety Andrew Mukuba. And let me tell you, this pick has divided opinions among fans and analysts alike. I have something very important to say about this pick, and I'm going to tell you all about it. Some see it as a masterstroke. Others, not so much. The Eagles' war room definitely had its reasons, and I'm here to unravel it all for you. But before I tell you everything I learned, hit the like button here on the video, but only do so if you trust Howie and believe he knows exactly what he's doing. And if you really believe we're going to the Super Bowl again, leave this in the comments. Go Eagles! We trust Howie. The atmosphere in the Eagles front office is electric, and behind closed doors, the focus is sharp. They want another Super Bowl. That's the mission. Nick Sirianni knows this, and so does Howie. In order to make this happen, they knew they needed to address a persistent issue at the safety position, one that has plagued the team since the loss of C.J. Gardner-Johnson. And with that in mind, Howie spent the Eagles' second-round pick on Andrew Mukuba, a player many believe is a tailor-made replacement for CGJ. Now let's not ignore it. Mukuba wasn't the first name on everyone's wish list. If you had polled fans and draft experts before the big weekend, many would have said Penn State's Kevin Winston Jr. was the dream. He ended up going to the Titans in the third round. Some even had Notre Dame's Xavier Watts higher in rebounding, but the Eagles opted to take Mukuba, and there's a method to the madness. This is not a decision made lightly. It's a direct reflection of a change in Howie Roseman's philosophy. In past years, we've seen the Eagles overinvest in the trenches and quarterback positions while treating spots like safety and linebacker almost as afterthoughts. How many seasons did we watch them patchwork the safety spot with quick fixes like Jaquiski Tartt, Anthony Harris, or Terrell Edmonds? Those days are over, and Makuba's selection is proof. For the first time in 14 years, Howie spent a day 2 pick on a safety, the last time being Jaquan Jarrett way back in 2011. That's a huge signal that this organization understands just how critical the safety position is to a championship-caliber defense. Every time the Eagles have been in the hunt for a Super Bowl, 2004 with Brian Dawkins, 2017 with Malcolm Jenkins and Rodney McLeod, 2022 and 2024 with C.J. Gardner-Johnson, they had elite-level safety play. Mukuba isn't just filling a roster spot, he's stepping into a legacy. Looking at Mukuba's tape, it's easy to see why the Eagles fell in love. He brings elite range, explosive closing speed, and serious ball-hawking instincts, not to mention the swagger and attitude you need to thrive in Philly. 5 interceptions last season leading the SEC, 7 forced incompletions, and remarkably 0 penalties in his final 26 games between Clemson and Texas. Let that sink in. 0 penalties, while playing aggressive, high-risk football in the secondary. That's a rare, special trait. Of course, there are critiques. Mukuba, much like Gardner-Johnson, tends to come in hot and sometimes misses tackles. He's also built more like a cornerback than a traditional thumper safety, which means he could struggle at times matching up against bigger tight ends one-on-one. But if the Eagles were looking for a player who could recreate the energy, the playmaking ability, and the attitude that CGJ brought, they couldn't have found a much closer clone. What makes this pick even more fascinating is the impact defensive coordinator Vic Fangio is already having on Howie's draft strategy. Fangio's system demands rangy, aggressive safeties who can cover a lot of ground and tackle with authority. It's clear Howie is listening. Not only did they grab Mukuba, but they also spent a first-rounder on linebacker Jihad Campbell, another big break from the Eagles' usual draft habits. The days of undervaluing the second level of the defense appear to be officially over. If you think this pick is just about replacing one player, think again. It's about building a sustainable championship defense that fits the demands of today's NFL. Speed, flexibility, and playmaking ability are now must-haves. Mukuba brings all of that. His aggressive style, ability to create turnovers, and sideline-to-sideline range could make him a cornerstone of the Eagles' defense for years to come, if he develops the way the team expects.
There's also a financial layer to this strategy that can't be ignored. The Eagles didn't want to pay Gardner-Johnson the top-tier money he was looking for. Instead of doing what they did in the past, slapping on a Band-Aid with a cheap veteran, they made a real investment by using a premium draft pick. They went cheap on the contract side, but not on the talent acquisition side. That's smart team building. It's clear the Eagles are evolving. They're no longer ignoring key positions in the hope that elite line play can cover every other flaw. They're striving to be complete across the board. And while not every fan or analyst agrees with every move, especially passing up Winston Jr. or Watts, there's a vision here. One that could have the Eagles playing deep into January once again. So now I want to hear from you, Eagles Nation. What do you think about Andrew Mukuba being the pick at 64? Is he the perfect replacement for C.J. Gardner-Johnson? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget, go Eagles! In Howie we trust. The tension around the Eagles draft room didn't just end with the selection of Andrew Mukuba. In fact, it's only just getting started. Howie Roseman's decision to target a safety so high in the draft marks a pivotal shift in Philadelphia's team-building philosophy, and the ripple effects could be felt throughout the roster heading into the 2025 season and beyond. Mukuba isn't just another addition. He's a statement. What's fascinating is how deliberate this entire move feels. From the way the Eagles approached free agency, refusing to sign a quick-fix veteran safety like Justin Simmons, to the meticulous way they evaluated and selected Mukuba, everything screams intentionality. They didn't want a Band-Aid. They wanted a future leader in the secondary, and Mukuba fits that vision almost too perfectly. It's rare that a team finds a player who mirrors the strengths and even some weaknesses of the man he's replacing, but that's exactly what happened here. Let's not overlook the broader context either. This isn't just about Vic Fangio influencing defensive priorities. It's about Howie Roseman finally showing that he can adapt to modern NFL demands. We're seeing a front office that isn't just obsessed with the offensive and defensive lines anymore. They're looking at the full picture, cornerbacks, safeties, linebackers, and prioritizing versatility, athleticism, and impact plays across the board. The fact that the Eagles invested premium draft capital on both a linebacker, Jihad Campbell, and a safety, Andrew Mukuba, in the first 2 rounds is historic for this franchise. If you stack it up, Andrew Mukuba brings exactly what the Eagles lacked at times even during their recent successful seasons. A true game-changing force in the back end who can flip the field with interceptions and hard hits. His ball production at Texas was undeniable. 5 picks in 2024 alone, leading the SEC. His ability to force incompletions without getting flagged is almost unheard of for a young safety, and it speaks volumes about his discipline and football IQ. And think about this, Mukuba's style fits the NFC East like a glove. Fast, physical, fearless, that's what you need when you're playing against the likes of C.D. Lamb, Terry McLaurin, and whoever the Giants line up. Fangio's system demands disciplined aggression. You have to attack without losing control. Mukuba seems built for it. The Eagles also made some clever moves around the Mukuba pick that shouldn't be ignored, trading down from 96 to 101 and then from 101 to 111 on day 2, all while collecting future draft capital. Shows that Howie is once again playing chess while a lot of other GMs are stuck playing checkers. They picked up an extra 2026 fifth-round pick and maneuvered themselves into a better spot for day 3 without losing serious ground. It's classic Howie, aggressive when necessary, patient when it pays off. Still, there's pressure on Mukuba now. Fair or not, fans are going to expect him to play at a level close to what C.J. Gardner-Johnson brought to the table, maybe not immediately, but certainly over time. With Fangio orchestrating the defense and a revamped secondary around him, Mukuba won't have to do it all alone. He'll have Reed Blankenship and Sidney Brown alongside him, both young players who showed flashes of brilliance last season. But Mukuba is now the centerpiece of a changing secondary, and the expectations are enormous. And so, Eagles fans, I leave you with this. Was Andrew Mukuba the right choice? Did Howie strike gold again? Or do you think the Eagles should have gone a different direction at safety? Sound off in the comments, and if you're riding with Howie, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out the next video popping up on your screen right now. Go Birds!